Hi, my dear students. Myself, Anush Dharan, Academic Director and Biology Faculty of Rankings Entrance Training Academy. I welcome all of you in my new video lesson. Today, I am going to talk about the cell, the unit of life, part 2. Dear students, as you know, the last class we have discussed the structure of a prokaryotic cell. Today we are going to discuss the structure of a eukaryotic cell. As you know, the eukaryotic cell is present in plants, animals, protists, and fungi. And we have discussed kingdom Munira is actually having prokaryotic cell. What are the characteristic features of eukaryotic cell? They are having membrane bound cell organelles. Okay, they're having a well defined nucleus. So here in this diagrammatic representation, you can see that the plant cell and the animal cell. This is the plant cell and this is the animal cell. Both are eukaryotic cell, but still they're having some slight differences that you have learned in lower classes. So now I'm going to discuss in detail the structure of a plasma membrane. You are very familiar. The plasma membrane or cell membrane is the outermost layer of animal cells and the second layer of plant cell. Why? Because the plant cells are actually having a well-developed cell wall. Now we are going to discuss in detail the structure of a plasma membrane. Dear students, based on the biochemical investigation, it's clearly revealed that the cell membrane is composed of proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. Is it clear? This is actually the diagrammatic representation of a cell membrane. I said, based on the biochemical investigation, it's clearly revealed that the cell membrane possesses proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. Is it clear? The ratio of proteins and lipids varies considerably in different types of cells. For example, in case of human erythrocytes, they're having 52% proteins and 40% lipids. Okay, this is actually one of the latest and widely accepted model of plasma membrane. This model we can call it as fluid mosaic model proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1952. Okay, according to this model, you can see that the proteins are arranged in the phospholipid bilayer. You can see that this is the region of phospholipid bilayer, and these blue colored areas are actually the proteins. So according to fluid mosaic model, the proteins are arranged in phospholipid bilayer as a mosaic fashion. That is why this model is called a fluid mosaic model. Is it clear? According to fluid mosaic model proposed by Singer and Nicholson, the proteins are arranged in phospholipid bilayer. Yes, students, this is actually the phospholipid bilayer. It's actually having two layers. Okay, in between the phospholipid bilayers, it's actually having so many proteins are there. It's actually look like a mosaic appearance. That's why it is called a fluid mosaic model. Okay, so in this diagrammatic representation you can see that the phospholipids are actually arranged as a bilayer. Yes, when you consider the detailed structure of this lipid, The lipids are arranged within the membrane with a polar head towards the outer side. This is actually the polar head. Okay, the polar head actually arranged outside, and the hydrophobic tail. This is the hydrophobic tail. Okay, the hydrophobic tail towards the inner part. Is it clear? I repeat once again, the lipids are arranged within the membrane with the polar head towards the outer side and the hydrophobic tail towards the inner part. Okay. According to this model, the quasi-fluid nature of lipids. What is the meaning of quasi-fluid nature of lipids? Quasi-fluid means partially fluid. Okay, because of this quasi-fluid or partially fluid nature of this lipid, it enables the lateral movements of the protein within the overall bilayer. Okay, along with these phospholipids and proteins, cholesterol also present in the plasma membrane. Can you see the cholesterol over here? Yes, I said along with the proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates, we can see that cholesterol also present in the plasma membrane. And you are very familiar, the cholesterol are more rigid than phospholipids. So it helps in stability of the membrane structure. Is it clear? When you consider the proteins, this is actually the protein, you know? Yes. On the basis of ease of extraction, membrane proteins are two types. They are integral proteins and peripheral proteins. What is the meaning of integral protein? You can see that some proteins are actually partially or totally buried in the cell membrane. Can you see? This type of proteins are called integral protein. But here you can see the proteins are actually lie on the surface of the membrane. Can you see? Some type of proteins are actually seen on the surface of the lipid bilayer. Such type of proteins are collectively called peripheral proteins. Okay, but the integral proteins are partially or totally buried in the cell membrane. Is it clear? This is actually the structure of plasma membrane according to fluid mosaic model. Now we are going to discuss what are the most important functions of plasma membrane. You are very familiar, the plasma membrane really help the transport of molecules across it. Yes, and you are very familiar, the plasma membrane is considered as a selectively permeable membrane. Do you know why we can say selectively permeable membrane? Why? Because the plasma membrane allows the entry and exit of certain selected molecules, not all molecules. That is why plasma membrane is a type of selectively permeable membrane. The main function we have discussed, the most important function, you know, the transport of molecules across it. Sometimes the transport may be passive transport, sometimes it may be active transport. What is the difference between passive transport and active transport? Dear students, when you consider the transport of material or substances from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, the process occurs without the expenditure of energy. Such type of transport we can commonly call the passive transport. I hope you might hear about diffusion is a passive process. Do you remember the process of diffusion? Yes, the movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration we can call it as diffusion. Dear students, if the diffusion occur through a selectively permeable membrane or plasma membrane, we can call it as osmosis. Okay, sometimes you can see that the transport of substances occur against the concentration gradient. What is the meaning of against the concentration gradient? That means from the region of low concentration to the region of higher concentration. In such a type of transport, we can see that the energy expenditure is there. That means this process requires ATP energy. Such type of transport we can commonly call the active transport. Is it clear? This is something about the plasma membrane. Dear students, now we are going to discuss about the cell wall. You are very familiar. Cell wall is the outermost non-living boundary of plant cells, bacterial cell, and even fungal cells. Yes? Okay. In case of algae, we can see that the cell wall is actually made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans, and minerals like calcium carbonate. Okay, but in case of other plants, you are very familiar. The cell wall is composed of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins, and proteins. Dear students, this is actually the diagrammatic representation showing the different parts of the cell wall. When you carefully observe, you can see that it's actually composed of two layers. Okay, that means the primary cell wall and the secondary cell wall. What is the meaning of primary wall? Primary wall means the first formed cell wall, which is commonly seen in the young cells. Okay, whenever the cell becomes mature, what happens? The secondary cell wall will develop. When you consider the primary wall, what are the characteristic features? The primary cell wall is thin and elastic. Okay, it is composed of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. But in case of secondary cell wall, you can see the secondary cell wall over here. Yes, the secondary cell wall is always rigid and thick. Okay, it is also composed of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. Okay, now you can listen the second diagram. In this diagrammatic representation, you can see that there is a cementing material between the adjacent cells. Okay, between the primary wall of the adjacent cell, there is a cementing material called a middle lamellae. Dear students, the middle lamellae is chemically composed of calcium pectate and magnesium pectate. So in this last diagrammatic representation, you can see that the structure of cell wall between two adjacent cells. These two are adjacent cells. Okay, in between these two adjacent cells, there is an interconnective strand or intercytoplasmic strands are there. Okay, this type of interconnecting strands are collectively called plasmodesmata. Okay, this plasmodesmata plays an important role in the transfer of substances from one cell to another cell. Is it clear? This is actually the structure of cell wall. Dear students, now we are going to discuss endomembrane system. What is the meaning of endomembrane system? As you know, many of the cell organelles are actually considered as endomembrane system. Why? Because the functions of all these cell organelles are coordinated. Okay, I repeat once again, you are very familiar. Each and every membrane bound cell organelles, they are having distinct structure and function. Yes, many of these cell organelles are considered together as an endomembrane system because the functions of these organelles are highly coordinated. Which are the most important cell organelle belongs to endomembrane system? First one, endoplasmic reticulum. Second one, Golgi complex. Third one, lysosomes. And fourth one, vacuoles. All these cell organelles together called the endomembrane system. Why? Because its functions are highly coordinated. Is it clear? Now we are going to discuss in detail the structure and function of endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, and vacuoles. Okay. First of all, we are going to discuss the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. You can see that this is actually the structure of endoplasmic reticulum just seen around the nucleus. There is a network of interconnected membranous tubular structures scattered in the cytoplasm. When you consider it as a cell, this is the cytoplasm, and this is the endoplasmic reticulum, and this is the nucleus. So what is the meaning of endoplasmic reticulum? There is a network of interconnected membranous tubular structure scattered in the cytoplasm. Okay. This endoplasmic reticulum, it's actually divides the intracellular space into two regions. What is the meaning of intracellular space? Means the space inside the cell. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum divide this space into two regions. That means the luminal and extraluminal. Luminal means inside the endoplasmic reticulum, and extraluminal means outside the endoplasmic reticulum. That means cytoplasm. Okay. When you carefully observe this diagrammatic representation, you can see that at certain sites, the endoplasmic reticulum or the endoplasmic reticular membrane is actually continuous with the outer nuclear envelope membrane. Okay. Then, depending upon the presence or absence of ribosomes on the surface, look, here you can see the surface of endoplasmic reticulum having ribosomes. Can you see? But here you can see there is no ribosomes. So, depending on the presence or absence of ribosomes on the surface, the endoplasmic reticulum can be classified into two categories, which are the rough endoplasmic reticulum and a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Because of the presence of ribosome on its surface, it actually makes a rough appearance. Hence, it is called a rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is actually characterized by the presence of ribosome on its surface. But here you can see there will be no ribosomes. Because of the devoid of ribosome on its surface always smooth. Hence, this type of endoplasmic reticulum we can collectively call the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, now we are going to discuss the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. First one, the most important function, protein synthesis. The protein synthesis occur in rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, rough endoplasmic reticulum is the site of protein synthesis. Second one is the lipid synthesis. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum help in lipid synthesis. Okay, the proteins and lipids are synthesized on the endoplasmic reticulum are used for making the cell membrane. Okay, the fourth important function, you can see that it helps in intercellular and intracellular transport of substances. What is the meaning of intercellular and intracellular? Intercellular means between the cells. Intracellular means the transport of substances occur inside the cell itself. Okay, another important function, it actually gives internal support to the cytoplasm. Okay, and one more thing, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum in the liver cells It takes part in detoxifying many poisonous drugs. Okay, okay. What is the meaning of detoxifying? The toxic substances should be converted into, normal substances. That is called detoxification. Is it clear? Here you can see the differences between smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. In case of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, we have seen ribosomes are present. It's actually synthesize the lipids and steroids, many mainly formed of vesicles and tubules. Do you know what you call the vesicles and tubules? Okay, I will explain what is the meaning of vesicles and tubules. Dear students, when you consider the endoplasmic reticulum, it's actually composed of three different types of structures. That may be cisternae, vesicles, and tubules. Okay, this type of structure we can call it a cisternae, and this is called vesicles, and this is called tubules. And what I said, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum mainly formed of vesicles and tubules, but rough endoplasmic reticulum is formed by cisternae. Okay, the ribosomes are present and it synthesizes proteins. This is something about the structure and function of endoplasmic reticulum. Is it clear? Next one, we are going to discuss Golgi apparatus. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation of Golgi apparatus. Dear students, the Golgi apparatus is actually a densely stained reticular structure near the nucleus. First of all, observed by Camillo Golgi in 1898. Okay, when you consider the structure of Golgi apparatus, it is also composed of three types of substances or three types of components. They are cisternae, vesicles, and tubules. Look, this is actually the cisternae. Okay, these are vesicles, and this is actually tubules. Is it clear? When you consider the structure of Golgi apparatus in detail, we can see that it's actually having two phases. Which are the two phases? The cisternae actually having a cis phase or forming phase. Okay, a cis phase or forming phase. This is actually the cis phase or forming phase. And second one is the trans phase or maturing phase. This is the trans phase or maturing phase. Okay, it's mainly composed of cisternae, I said. Okay, the cisternae are actually the flat disc-shaped sac-like structure arranged in a stalk parallel to each other. Did you clear? This is actually the cisternae. When you consider the size of the cisternae, it's actually having the size 0.5 to 1 micrometer in diameter. Okay, this is actually the structure of Golgi apparatus. Now we are going to discuss which are the most important functions of Golgi apparatus. Listen, dear students, the most important function you are very familiar, the Golgi apparatus is involved in the repair and synthesis of cell membrane. Okay, lysosomes are actually formed by Golgi apparatus. We will discuss later. Packaging of materials to be delivered either to the intracellular target or secreted outside the cell. Another important function of Golgi apparatus means the packaging of materials. Okay, which material? A number of proteins synthesized by the ribosomes. As you know, the main function of ribosome, that is protein synthesis. And we have seen that some endoplasmic reticulum having ribosome. Such type of endoplasmic reticulum, we said rough endoplasmic reticulum. So, a number of proteins synthesized by ribosome on the endoplasmic reticulum are modified in the cisternae of Golgi apparatus. Okay, before they are released from its transphase. What is the meaning of transphase? We have seen the transphase means the maturing phase. Cis phase actually forming phase. Okay, so the main function we have seen a number of proteins synthesized by ribosomes on the endoplasmic reticulum are modified in the cisternae of Golgi apparatus before they are released from its transphase. Is it clear? Golgi apparatus is the important site of the formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Here is actually having some spelling mistake. This is the glycolipids. Okay, this is actually the structure and function of Golgi apparatus. Dear students, now we are going to discuss the lysosomes. As you know, the lysosomes are commonly called suicide bags. Okay, there is a membrane-bound vesicular structure formed by the process of packaging in the Golgi apparatus. Okay, as a result of packaging in the Golgi apparatus, especially in the vesicles. Okay, that means the vesicles from the Golgi apparatus should be converted into lysosome. Okay, so lysosomes are actually membrane-bound vesicular structures formed by the process of packaging in the Golgi apparatus. Dear students, the lysosomes are actually filled with 50 different types of digestive enzymes. In this diagrammatic representation, you can see that there is a mixture of hydrolytic enzymes. Here it's labeled as hydrolytic enzyme mixture. There are 50 different types of digestive enzymes. It's collectively called acid hydrolases. Okay, this acid hydrolases includes lipases, proteases, carbohydrases, nucleases, etc. As you know, these acid hydrolases function only in acidic medium. That means the pH 5. These enzymes are capable of digesting carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Is it clear? Do you know what is the function of lysosome? Yes. The lysosome plays an important role to control the foreign bodies may be enter inside the cell. When you consider a foreign body enter inside the cell, the lysosome, it should, what happen? The lysosome plays an important role to digest all these type of foreign bodies. Is it clear? Because of the presence of specialized hydrolytic enzymes. The enzymes we can collectively called acid hydrolases. Dear students, sometimes all the lysosome becomes breaking down, and the acid hydrolases that may cause the digestion of the entire cell itself. That's why the lysosomes we can collectively call the suicide bags. Okay, because of the action of the lysosome, what happened? That should engulf the entire cell itself. Is it clear? That should be digest the entire cell. This is the reason in which we can commonly call the suicide bags. Is it clear? The last one come under the endomembrane system, that is vacuoles. As you know, the vacuoles are membrane-bound space found in the cytoplasm. It contains water, sap, excretory products, and other materials not useful for the cell. When you study the detailed structure of vacuole, its outer membrane, the vacuole actually covered by means of a membrane called tonoplast. That means the membranes of vacuoles we can collectively called tonoplast. Dear students, in plant cells, you are very familiar, the vacuoles can occupy up to 90% of the volume of the cell. Okay, in case of animals, especially amoeba, the contractile vacuole is important for excretion that you have learned in lower classes. Yes, the contractile vacuole is a type of vacuole plays an important role in the process of excretion. And last one, in many cells, especially in protists, the food vacuoles are formed by engulfing the food particles. Do you remember the formation of food vacuole we have learned in protozoans? Yes, especially in Paramecium. Okay, this is actually the structure and function of vacuoles. Dear students, I hope all of you have understood all these concepts thoroughly. Okay, for better understanding, you have to go through this video lesson again and again. Anyway, I'm going to wind up now. Thank you. Have a nice